Hey, it's Patrick at Distracted Dragon Makes again, back with more Open Grid. So today we're going to do 5 tips and tricks to make your Open Grid installation easy, somewhat painless, and hopefully it ends up being a beautiful installation when you're done. All right, so we're going to jump right into this. So you've got a wall like this, you want to organize it, you want to decorate it, whatever. Open Grid is your solution. So first tip, work in rows. So I learned this the hard way doing my studio video, which you can go check out. I'll leave a link in the description. We did a smaller install in the studio. We're doing this one in the main part of the office. So this is going to be a display wall for games and my collectibles and everything else. And I don't know how far it's going to run. Katie's only at 150 boards. I'm at 174 right now. So I'm thinking, I might just keep going just to win, because that's how we are. Anyhow, so by doing the rows, you can do the clips. And the nice part with the clips is that you can get them pulled together so that they don't fall when you're trying to install them. The key is, though, to leave, see, you'll notice these are not actually screwed into the wall yet. Because what I'm going to do is put the edges on, clip this in, and then I will screw in this board if I need to. So as we go down the wall, I'm using the clips and then occasionally putting in screws just to hold some of them in place. So make sure you keep your countersunk holes on the outside. So I basically put it in here, get the clips in, and we're good to go. So we put the screw in. If we need to, run it to the end of the wall. I'm actually thinking about doing some of the custom generators that I did in the tutorial so that I can do a clean edge on that. So tip 2 is to use the clips, because it really does make installation so much easier. I do 2 per side, so I always do my top and my right side. So that way I can set them in here. Once again, turn it around so the countersink is right. So you push this in, pull these out a little bit to get them in, snap it in, it's pretty much good to go. If you get more than 5 or 6 in a row, they'll start to droop because it's just a little too heavy. So tip number 3, and I'm sure you can see it here in the background as I check. So what I did was Carolina Panthers, okay, so they're having an okay season, but here we're doing the silver and blue for the Panthers. So we're doing a nice 2-color wall. You can either, the reason I picked this gray was because it matches this wall. So it really fades in, and so then I use the pop of color behind the TV set to get to do a differentiation in which zone it is, because the blue is going to be for all my gaming accessories. So my controllers are going on the wall. I want to do some LED lights. We're going to have plugs for everything. So we've got a large extension cord that we're going to use that's going to power the whole thing. We're going to mount it to the Open Grid so it's out of the way. When we get to the end of this, you're going to be amazed. But this system is just incredible. So my next tip, number 4, is do not put up the giant TV or any other big fixed items before you've got the boards in. This thing weighs a ton. I mean, a literal ton. It took 2 of us to get it up on the wall. It's not coming down anytime soon or ever. So what I did was I already had it on the wall, though, before I decided to do the Open Grid. So getting the boards behind the wall perfectly level was really difficult because I was running into strike plates along the top of the wall, and then I was getting where I couldn't get my screwdriver to go in straight, so it was pulling the boards out of alignment. Believe me, you want to do all of this before you start installing, because the thing is that once the big stuff's in, it is a pain to move around it. So take it from me, I really wish I had not put up the TV till this was done, but here we are. So tip number 5 is Maker's World or printables. Go out before you start and look. Look at all the accessories. There's headphone holders. And I just lost my light. Okay, so now that we've fixed the light, so you want to go into, there's holders, there's multi-board connectors, there's multi-connect connectors, so you can actually use screw pieces to put into your wall. So if you want to use hooks, or if you want to use anything else, there's a ton of stuff, and I'll link David D's collection. He's got a pretty extensive one. And I'll put my portals down and my Maker World links to all the shelves I did, because I've done, you can't really see them from here, I'll show them in the reveal, but I've come up with a bunch of Funko Pop shelves for bigger and smaller pieces, and then some display shelves, all of which clip into the Open Grid system. So we got 2 bonus tips for you. Number 1, I will leave in the descriptions the tutorial I just did. If you want to do a Open Grid, if you want to do an Open Grid install, but you only have one printer, or you don't have a lot of time on your hands to run printers nonstop, 174 boards, ask me how I know. You can go into Perplexing Labs, customize your boards, and then, just saying, you can go ahead and order them all and have them delivered to your door. So the 7x7s start, I think, at around $8 a piece. So for huge installs, you know, it racks up. But if you're doing a 5 or 10 piece board, it's probably a lot more cost effective if you don't have a printer to go ahead and just order them. You can pick the color you want. There's probably 12 or 13 different colors, so you can match your wall, you can, you know, complement your wall, you can contrast your wall, whatever your personal aesthetic is. The last one is the best. So, you know, we talked about these little clips earlier. Let me just, I hope you can see that. So these clips are amazing. David D is a genius. So anyhow, so we've got these clips, they go in. Well, after you push 1,000 of these in, your fingers start to scream, because they go in, but a lot of times they make a nice snap, but, you know, they get in that far and they get stuck, you know, because you didn't put them in perfectly level. So, but what I found was this little clip that David D created, not only does it work marvels for hanging stuff on your Open Grid wall, but the added benefit, I don't know if anybody else knows this, is if you take that slat and you push it down, it pushes your clips in just about perfect. So you can just align them, just set them in a little bit in the hole right there, and then boom, nice clip, perfect alignment every time. These clips are in David D's collection. He created these way early. I actually hung 4 kilograms off one of these on an open board. They're fantastic. They will hold just about anything. And the other members of the guild and the community in general have come up with so many great ideas. The next tutorial that I'm going to do is on Pedro's Open Grid underwear system, and we're going to go through all the different types of underwear. Underwear is great for cable management, but what we're going to use it for is LED channels to run through this entire board. So, and the one that we did in the studio. So you want to stay tuned. I will link the tutorial video here so that you can go see it. Once again, Patrick, Distracted Dragon Makes. Drop me a comment, let me know what kind of wall you want to build. Until next time, this project's done, ready to fly. Let's hatch the next one.